Morning, family. I feel very blessed to be here with you all today. I want to share briefly that the sermon came from an assignment from an editor to me, and that happened because I ran into a girlfriend who has a magazine, Infinity Health magazine, and she tells me, she says, it's Sunday, right? And she says, Cindy, Mom died a week ago. My husband's been diagnosed with something serious. I have to get the magazine out, and I need the key article in 2 days. Can you do it? Okay. How do you say no to that, right? I mean, they say if you want something done, you ask a busy person, right? So we were at a metaphysical fair. We stay overnight at that Monday to drive home. It takes us all day to do a 4-hour drive. That's what happens when you get old, right? You got to stop a million times, right? So we get home. I'm writing. I have this thing ready on Tuesday. That was 2 years ago. And I've been writing for the magazine since. And the cool thing about it is that I run a graduate program at the University of Michigan. I'm a full-time wife, mother, and full-time grandmother because my children live with us and my daughter's in nursing school. So at 66, I'm helping raise children again. And so it's like, the housework goes out the window, but I make my deadlines. And the cool thing I want to say about all that is that life sweeps me away from who I really am and what I really want to do, which is sit like a hermit and meditate. You know, that would really be cool. But these articles that she has me write puts me back into the meditative state. And so this one was born from Spirit telling her, this is what the people need to hear. So it's love and relationships, achieving a spiritual balance. George Sand, who is a 19th century writer, wrote, "There's only one happiness in this life, to love and be loved." Nothing gives our lives more meaning than loving and being loved. Our relationships are the arena where our love plays out. I call it an arena because we battle with issues daily that puts our love to the test. Our relationships spiral us into new heights of awareness. They show us parts of who we are. They help us to define personally what makes our lives worth living. Our relationships are also our mirrors. They confirm what we're giving out in life by demonstrating what we're drawing back. And love is the glue that holds our relationships together. It's the link that connects us, and it's our reason for living. Love is intuitive. It's a feeling. It doesn't lie. Our heart tells us the truth. In terms of the reading today, our mind dealing with the polarity of negative and positive, light and dark, evil and not evil, you know? We can prove anything we want to prove. Vitamin C is good for you. Oops, if you eat too much, it's bad for you. So the mind is always arguing, always creating some kind of other thing for you to look at instead of feeling what is in your heart. Experiencing love is the most fulfilling feeling in the world because love transports us. Taoist master Lao Tzu states, being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. When you feel deeply loved, we feel secure and strong. We bring this strength into our relationships. Sometimes we feel the security because of our relationships. But love is our mirror, and we can see ourselves through the eyes of love. In our relationships, looking in the mirror to see where we are, literally, and through everything in our life. It's really a variance of a level of love. Love is the vehicle that drives us. Paramahansa Yogananda says that in the state of love, no matter what you do, it's gonna be good. So, as we love, we grow, we develop who we are based upon our love relationships. For example, the relationships in our home as we grew up shaped our foundation for love. Some say that we take our whole lifetime getting over our upbringing. However, while it definitely influenced us and created that foundation, it does not have to define us. We have free will to make choices that bring us happiness. Choosing to love and to love deeply, purely, honestly, with integrity moves us into higher states of awareness, fulfillment, fills us with a sense of belonging, not just to one person, but to the whole human race. For me, I can't get in an elevator and not say hello to people and just stand around and pretend they don't exist. I can't even walk down the street and not say hello. And people look at me like I'm from Planet Z. What's wrong with her? What's she doing? I'm acknowledging the God in you. Hello, right? So, one interesting thing to me, though, is how wide our doors open for us to love and to be loved determines the levels and magnitude of our love, that which we give out and that which we receive. How open is your door? So, let's see, where am I? How open is your door? Oh, how high can we take love? How high can we take it? That's an exciting question, I think. So, there are layers to work through, layers to achieve. We all relate to the world as we see it. We look through our own unique eyes and we bring all of who we are in that moment in time into our relationships. We also bring all that we're overcoming, as well as ideas and feelings for where we want to be. We're taught that love with expectation is conditional. Rumi has an answer for this. Rumi says, and still, after all this time, the sun has never said to the earth, you owe me. Look what happens with love like that. It lights up the sky. Achieving a spiritual balance within ourselves can help us to open our door wider to unconditional love. To accept ourselves where we are is necessary, To accept others where they are is divine. To relate to anyone where they are is a step outside of ourselves, to see through the eyes of compassion, through our hearts, the feeling that never lies. Yogananda reminds us that divine love is without condition, without boundary. In the universal sense, love is the divine power of attraction in creation that harmonizes, unites, binds together. Those who live in tune with the attractive force of love achieves harmony with nature and their fellow beings. Achieving a spiritual balance means that we must take a deep look at ourselves, which sometimes is the hardest thing to do. We all have our stories of how we arrived where we are. Sometimes we may want to point a finger and say, you did this or that, and this way, this is because of you, that this is this way and that way. But the truth of the matter in the world of metaphysics is that it always comes back to us, which is frustrating sometimes. It's more fun to point the finger sometimes, and it's definitely less work, less things that you have to look at and do and say, yeah, I'm doing my work, right? Yet the truth is that we said yes to whatever circumstance we're frustrated about at some level, be it, the contract we wrote before we came into this lifetime, or allowing a karmic pattern to develop by not saying something or stopping it in the beginning. I mean, there's just so many things here. And then don't forget this, that all of the memories from every single lifetime we've ever had remains with us in our subconscious. So we've got that level that we're reacting to life to as well, which is, I'd call it a lot of baggage, but in any event, it does help shape us and our relationships. The realization that the responsibility of any and all relationships always comes back to us. We can ask ourselves a question. Are my relationships bringing out the best in me? I've got another question, though. Am I giving that which brings out the best in myself and others? Romans 12:2 tells us, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. In a course that I took at New Wisdom University on prayer and meditation, there was this class that was channeled by Jesus the Christ. I said, okay, this has got to be good. But the main message of the course was, live your day in constant prayer. And I thought about that. How are you going to do that? Especially when you got a whole list of things going on in your life. But it's to live in reverence, humility, honor, love, respect, integrity, and in awe of all of the blessings that we truly have, that we sometimes don't acknowledge, because we can have all these positive things going on, and then all of a sudden one thing will go wrong and we dwell on that. Okay, so The planet is a planet of gravity. And yeah, it does pull things down. And so our work is to keep going up, no matter what this planet and the lowest common denominator tells us we need to be doing. Then there's meditation. The yogis tell us we can renew by quieting the mind and the body. To remember who we are, Psalms 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." Phew, that's a big statement. Okay, because that means we're also the creator. We've got the responsibility of creating. And so, to me, that means loop back to love, loop back to constant reverence for life and your fellow human beings through the day. Paramahansa says, though, the greatest romance you can have is the romance with God. The greatest love you can experience is the communion with God in meditation. The love between the soul and the spirit is the perfect love. The love you are all seeking. This is him talking. When you meditate, love grows, and you will be able to give that pure love to yourself and to others. Rumi, you know Rumi's got a way of putting it too, right? Rumi says, "Love said to me, there is nothing that is not me. Be silent." The implication here is that sometimes we're too busy to feel it, to see it, to know it, to make it a bigger part of who we are, what we're about, where we're going, what we want for ourselves, what we want for the world. We are that sun. Each of us is an individual sun, shining who we are, what we're about. We don't have to say a word. You can walk into a room and influence the whole room, carrying light and love, and not say a word. For me, I've been a member of this community for a while, but I've been super busy and not here, and you guys are probably looking at me saying, "Who are you? Where you been?" But I'm this recluse too, I am. I love our community because I feel like we're in a community of recluses. People who think outside the box. People who think. Let's stop at that one for a minute, okay? But people who love and people who choose to transcend all of this and not let us define us, but who choose to hold and be that vibration of love. Examples of spiritual balance surrounds us. We have only to quiet ourselves to feel it. And that's what they're saying to us. So we can sit in the sunlight, feel its warmth, because warmth is a manifestation of love. We can hear the music inside of a bubbling brook, serenading us to be calm. We can listen to the leaves of the trees as they rustle in the breezes, sharing their tranquility. Love surrounds us, reminds us to quiet ourselves, absorb it, feel it, radiate it, be it, share it, and be the change that this world needs us to be. Rumi once more. He says, love calls everywhere and always. We're skybound. Are you coming? Namaste. Thank you.